Airports in 2026 look smoother than ever. Faster lines, more self-service machines, less talking, more scanning. But here's what most travelers don't realize. Behind the scenes, a lot has changed, and some of those changes are catching completely normal travelers off guard, at security, at check-in, at the boarding gate, and even after you land. Because flying today isn't just about showing up with a passport and a ticket anymore. Now it's facial recognition systems, carry-on crackdowns, battery rules changing, digital boarding cutoffs, self-service immigration traps, and new checks most people don't even know exist yet. And the scary part? Most of the people getting stopped did nothing wrong. They just didn't know the rules changed. In this video, we're breaking down 7 airport changes in 2026 that are catching travelers off guard. The ones happening right now, the ones airlines don't explain clearly, and the ones that can turn a normal travel day into a very stressful airport experience. And make sure you stay right to the end, because the final change is the one quietly causing some travelers to be delayed or even denied boarding. And almost nobody is talking about it yet. Let's start with the one that's already happening in more airports than people realize. Number 7. Facial recognition mismatches. This is one of the biggest invisible airport changes happening right now, because in a lot of airports in 2026, you're not being checked by a person first anymore. You're being checked by a system. Facial recognition gates, automated boarding, biometric passport control, self-scan bag drops, and most of the time, it works perfectly. Until it doesn't. And this is where completely normal travelers get caught off guard. Because facial recognition systems are matching you to your passport photo, your airline booking, your visa records, your travel history, and tiny things can cause mismatches. New glasses, different hairstyle, weight change, lighting differences, older passport photo versus current face, heavy makeup versus no makeup, hat lines or shadows. None of this means you did anything wrong. But if the system can't match you fast enough, you can get sent to manual screening. And this is where people suddenly panic, because it feels like you've been flagged. Most of the time, you haven't. The system just needs a human check. But here's what smart travelers are doing now. At biometric gates, take off hats, take off sunglasses, pull hair away from face. Look straight at camera. Stand still for a second longer than you think you need. It sounds simple, but rushing is one of the biggest causes of failed scans. And here's something most people don't realize. Old passport photos are becoming a bigger issue. If your passport photo is 8 or 9 years old and you look very different now, systems can struggle more. Doesn't mean you need a new passport early. Just means give scanners a clean, clear face when you use them. Because when these systems work, you walk through in seconds. When they don't, you're suddenly standing in a manual line wondering what happened. And this is only the beginning. Because the next change is hitting travelers at the boarding gate. And people are finding out about it when it's already too late. Number 6. Carry-on enforcement crackdowns. This is one of the changes travelers are noticing the fastest in 2026. Because airlines are not just reminding people about carry-on rules anymore, they are enforcing them. Hard. And this is catching a lot of completely normal travelers off guard, especially people who haven't flown in a few years, because what used to be close enough is now getting stopped at the gate. And here's why this is happening. Cabin space is more valuable than ever. Flights are fuller. More people travel with carry-on only. And airlines are using stricter digital bag tracking. Now in some airports and airlines, you'll see carry-ons being weighed at the gate, bag sizers actually being enforced, extra bags being tagged and sent to cargo, sometimes with a fee, staff visually checking bag counts before boarding. And the part catching people off guard? It's often happening at the gate, not at check-in, meaning you think you're fine until you're about to board. Now here's where people accidentally run into problems. Personal item confusion. A backpack, plus a handbag, plus a duty-free bag, plus a neck pillow clipped on. Individually, normal. Together, sometimes too many items. And in 2026, many airlines are counting items more strictly than before. Here's the safest travel habit now. Assume staff will check. Know your airlines, carry-on size, weight limit, item count rule. And if your bag is borderline size, don't gamble on it fitting, because gate check fees are often higher than check-in fees. And here's something most travelers don't realize. Staff are often under instructions to enforce consistently now, not just let it slide. It's not personal. It's policy. Because when enforcement is strict early, boarding stays faster overall. Follow the rules, and this part of travel stays smooth. Miss them, and suddenly you're reorganizing bags at the gate while everyone watches. And the next change is one people think they understand, until security pulls their bag aside because of one very common item. Number 5. Lithium battery and power bank rules are getting stricter. This is one of the fastest changing airport rules right now, and a lot of travelers still don't realize how serious airlines are getting about this. Because lithium batteries are now one of the biggest fire risks on planes. Not passports, not liquids, batteries. And that includes things people carry every day. Power banks, spare phone batteries, laptop batteries, camera batteries, CPAP battery packs, portable fans, some medical device backups. And here's where people get caught off guard. You cannot pack loose lithium batteries in checked luggage. Most airlines require them in carry-on only. Why? If something overheats, crew can respond in the cabin, not in the cargo hold. Now here's what is changing more in 2026. Capacity checks are stricter. Loose batteries rolling around bags are getting flagged. Damaged or swollen batteries are instant confiscation. Some airports are scanning specifically for battery clusters. And here's the mistake people make. Throwing spare batteries loose into a bag pocket. That's risky and can get your bag pulled. Smart travelers now. Keep batteries in original packaging if possible, or cover battery terminals, or use small battery cases. And here's something most people don't realize. Some high-capacity power banks are not allowed at all, depending on airline limits. If security or airline staff can't confirm battery size or rating, they can remove it. No argument, no appeal at the gate. And here's the real 2026 travel rule mindset. If a battery looks damaged, swollen, cracked, or very old, don't travel with it. Because battery enforcement is only getting stricter, not looser. Follow this one, and you avoid one of the fastest growing causes of security bag pulls. Because the next change is something travelers only realize exists when they are standing at the gate and suddenly can't board. Number 4. Early digital boarding cutoffs. The gate closes before you think it does. This is catching a lot of travelers off guard in 2026. Because people are used to thinking, if boarding is still happening, I can still get on. Not anymore in many cases, because a lot of airlines now run digital boarding locks tied to the system. Not just the physical door of the plane. Meaning, your boarding pass can stop working. Your seat can be released. Your bag can be offloaded even while people are still physically boarding. And this is happening because airlines are pushing for faster turnaround times, less manual overrides, more automated passenger tracking. Now here's where people get caught. You arrive at the gate just in time, but the system already closed check-in for the flight, and staff may not be able to override it, even if they want to. You'll hear phrases like, boarding is still open, but the flight is closed in the system. And that is one of the most frustrating things travelers experience right now, because it feels unfair, but it's very real. Here's the safest travel habit in 2026. Be at the gate, not at boarding time, not when final call is announced, but before boarding even starts if possible. Especially if you checked a bag, you're on an international flight, you're connecting. It's a full flight, because late passengers can now trigger automated seat release systems. And here's something most people don't realize. Some airlines are auto-assigning standby or upgrade passengers faster than before once someone is marked late, meaning your seat might be reassigned before you even reach the desk. And once that happens, getting it back can be very difficult. If you treat boarding times as suggestions, 2026 airports can be a shock. Treat them as hard deadlines, and travel gets a lot smoother. Because the next change is one travelers don't expect at all. Because it happens when security pulls your bag, and you swear there is nothing unusual inside. Number 3. Security scanning false alarms. Security scanners in 2026 are sharper than they used to be, and that's great. Until your totally normal bag gets pulled aside. Because the scanners don't just look for banned items. They also flag anything that looks dense, cluttered, or hard to identify on the screen. The most common triggers are things like big powder items, snack bricks, medication bundles, stacked electronics, and especially a bunch of batteries packed together. None of that means you're in trouble, but it can turn walk straight through into a 5-minute bag search while everyone else moves on. The easy fix is to pack like you're helping the scanner do its job. Keep electronics separated, don't bury powders under heavy items, and keep medical stuff in one pouch so it's easy to explain if asked. You're not trying to hide anything, you're making it obvious. And once you're through security, the next change catches people at immigration because more airports are putting machines between you and a human. Number 2. Self-service immigration kiosk traps. More airports now run arrivals through kiosks first, and the kiosk is basically a little consistency test machine. It's not trying to trick you, but it does expect you to follow the prompts exactly. And when you're tired, jet-lagged, and squinting at a screen, it's easy to click the wrong option or rush through the questions. Common problems in 2026 are face scans failing because people move too fast, fingerprints not registering, or travelers answering a question differently than they did on their entry form or during booking. Even small mismatches can send you to manual processing. Most of the time, that doesn't mean trouble. It just means extra time. So the best move is boring but effective. Slow down, stand still for the scan, and answer cleanly and consistently. Because the final change is the one people don't see coming, and it can affect boarding before you even land. Number 1. Proof of exit and insurance checks. This is the quiet shift in 2026 that's catching travelers off guard. More places want to see proof you will leave, and some want proof you can cover medical costs while you're there. Sometimes it happens at immigration. Sometimes it's the airline checking before you board. And the reason is simple. Countries and airlines don't want visitors stuck with no exit plan or huge medical bills. This hits hardest when travelers say things like, "I'm not sure when I'm leaving," or "I'll book my return later." Even if you're allowed a long stay, those answers can trigger extra questions. The easy Travel Pro move is to keep your return or onward ticket screenshot saved offline and have your travel insurance certificate saved as a PDF on your phone. If they ask, you don't explain your life, you just show it. And that's the theme of 2026 flying. The more you can show quickly, the less you have to talk.